Well, hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Gabriel, coming at you straight from Queens, New York. And in this video, I'm going to just give a quick little rant on what the title says, and it's basically why I left the silent my majority. So people need to ask. By that question, people are probably gonna assume that I left the silent majority, meaning that I now disagree with the silent majority. No. I left the silent majority because I'm no longer willing to be silent. I still agree with the silent majority, but I'm not going to stay silent anymore. So what is the silent majority? Well, the silent majority are people in the United States who feel the need to protect the Constitution, protect the amendments. Mosquito, sorry. I left the windows open, so now I'm dealing with the consequences basically. The silent majority are people who value freedom, who value respect, who value I'm going to look something up real quick. They value the things that a lot of progressive ideological groups in today's day and age want to get rid of. Right? And they do so under the false kind of pretense of freedom, right? And equality, and they're just butchering that, right? And it's such a shame, because those things aren't bad, right? Everybody loves freedom, everybody loves equality, but these people, a lot of leftists, progressives, really regressives, they're not doing anybody any favors by what they're pushing. And what I'm going to try to show you, if I can find it, is, I mean, I guess this will do good enough, is a poster of things that the National African American Museum categorized as being whiteness. And it's such a, I don't know, it's deeply like, like they're actively spitting on our faces when they do stuff like this. And I'm gonna show you what that poster was. And yeah, they took the poster down, but they still have the words on their website. This is still what they preach. Okay, so I'm going to show you. Did I change? I'm going to show you what it is, and it's this: aspects and assumptions of whiteness and white culture in the United States. White dominant culture, or whiteness, refers to the hold on. Refers to the ways white people and their traditions attitudes, and way of life have been normalized over time and are now considered standard practices in the United States. And since white people still hold most of the institutional power in America, we have all internalized some aspects of white culture. Right? So this is the stuff that the African American Museum believes came from white people. All right? And it's such a huge disservice that this is what our black institutions are preaching, that the things listed on here are somehow white, is just, well, they're not. It's a lie, first of all, right? It's just straight up a lie. The things that they're about to list aren't white. They weren't made by white people. And second of all, saying stuff like, like what they say here, or what they said here, right? Because they did take it down. So what they said, but I think it's fair to say that they still say this because this is what they believe. Just because they took down the post doesn't mean that they don't believe it anymore. Okay? So, I mean, this is what they say whiteness is: rugged individualism. The individual is the primary unit. Self-reliance, independence, and autonomy. Independence and autonomy are highly valued and rewarded. So valuing and rewarding being independent and being highly autonomous, right? So being self-sufficient, that's whiteness. Individuals assume to be in control of their mind, of their environment, right? So being proactive in your community is white, is part of white culture, is whiteness. Again, this is what the National African American Museum, they removed and apologized for whiteness, but this is still what they believe. All right, let's look. Let's go to their site. Let me see what they actually say about whiteness right now. All right, so this is this National Museum of African American History and Culture, right? Let's talking about race, right? This is what they put. This, right? Watch, hold on. Yeah, so they talk about white privilege. They have the I think she's the one that made the white fragility thing, maybe. I mean, they really believe that white people have all the power, right? It's such a shame, like that they're pushing this narrative that if you're not white, you can't succeed in the United States. And it's such a shame that our own people think this about us. They have white envy, like no shit. They want to be white. But let's just family structure. The nuclear family, father, mother, and 2 to 3 children, is the ideal social unit. Husband is breadwinner and head of household. Wife is homemaker and subordinate to husband. Children should have own rooms, be independent. That's somehow white. Emphasis on scientific method. Objective, rational, linear thinking. Objective, rational, linear. Remember, this is what they're saying is whiteness. Cause and effect relationships. Quantitative emphasis. History based on Northern European immigrants' experience in the U.S. Heavy focus on British Empire, the primacy of Western Greek, Roman, and Judeo-Christianic. It's such a shame that, like, these things that are obviously a product of trial and error by humanity, right? These aren't things that white people came up with. These are things that have been proven to be better than other theories and other structures. That is why they are succeeding. That is why they are being incorporated in modern Western cultures. It's because the results. Hard work is the key to success, is whiteness. Work before play is whiteness. If you didn't meet your goals, you didn't work hard enough, is white. Religion, Christianity is the norm. How is that white? Christianity, as in the religion that worships Jesus Christ, a Jewish man from the Middle East, Jesus of Nazareth, is somehow white. Status, power, wealth equals worth. Your job is who you are. Respect, authority, heavy value on ownership of goods, space, property. This isn't something that is white. That is literally a people in the past did not respect each other's rights to goods and space and property, and they would kill each other to take each other's shit. So what ended up happening was that we established rules that said you cannot steal and take your neighbor's shit. Their shit is their shit and your shit is your shit. You can trade, and this worked. It worked. Future orientation, plan for future, delayed gratification, progress is always best, tomorrow will be better. Yeah. Follow rigid time schedule, time viewed as a commodity. I can't express how. I mean, and this happened a couple months ago, right? This was a story like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. But I can't express how disappointing it is that this is where leaders in the African American community view themselves and view non-white people as if we can't do all of it's the soft bigotry of low expectations. They think so low of you that they assume that because you're not white, you can't succeed. It's a disgusting ideology, and it's the same ideology that BLM has. It's the exact same, and it's nasty. And guess who agrees with this? That all of these things are white culture. Who agrees with this? Like, think, who agrees with all of these things being attributable to race, especially the white race? Who agrees with this statement other than the KKK and neo-Nazis? Because that's exactly who agrees with this stuff. See, but this is the path that they want to head down. They took some backlash, they took the poster down, but they're still pushing this idea. They're still pushing this idea of whiteness. American means white. Everybody else has to hyphenate. No, that's white privilege. Since white people hold most of the political, institutional, economic, and they receive advantages that non-white groups do not. Who agrees with this other than white supremacists and KKK and neo, like who? That's literally what they say. That's what they preach. That's what they want. And you're here, the damn National Museum of African American, pushing the exact same rhetoric that racists push. Like, come on. Stop and think. Yes, please stop and think. It's so disheartening to talk about this shit. But I feel that I have to. Because they think they're doing good. They think that this is real. It's not real. This is why I left the silent majority, because I can't sit back and not talk about this anymore on a public platform. Not when our own institutions and leaders are pushing this nonsense. Complete and utter nonsense. I'm sorry, but no. Time is not whiteness. Religion is not whiteness. A work ethic is not whiteness. History and the scientific method are not whiteness. You guys need to do better. Do better for the people that you say you stand up for. Because this is disgusting. And this is why I left the silent majority. Because while it is true that the silent majority does need to stay silent, it cannot always be silent. We need to speak up sometimes. And I don't know, I feel like I have to speak up on this, because there's no excuse to attribute things that are just good to white as white. You've lost the plot. You've steered away from judging people based on the content of their character and not the color of their skin. We need to move more towards that. We need to move back towards that ideology. All right? And that's what people mean by make America great again. Move America back to the ideology where we value content of character over skin color, because content of character is the only true way to value someone, judge someone, think of someone. Is the content of their character. It's not their skin color that matters. That's not who they are. You are not your skin color. You are what you do. You are what you say. You are how you act. You are how you influence your community. You're not your skin color. Your skin color is just another product of your biology, same as your eye color or your hair color, your height. This has nothing to do with who you are as a person. That's all from me, man.